At age 23, a friend from high school asked me for a small favor. Would you ask my younger sister out on a date? He went on to explain that she was recently newly released from a short stint in a psychiatric hospital. She was diagnosed with depression. He thought socialization with a mentally stable, moral man would be therapeutic. I had been introduced to his sister, Gail, a pseudonym. 2 or 3 years passed. She was an attractive, pleasant girl. I asked if she would like to take in a movie on a double date. Double dating provided a chaperone-type venue, should anything unpleasant ensue. After a nice evening, arriving at her home with my friend Ronnie driving, I walked her to the door. When I was in the process of thanking her for a nice evening, when out of the corner of my eye, I saw 2 hulking figures approaching. One of the guys was brandishing one of those super large switchblades. In reality, a small sword. Gail recognized who it was and yelled to me, "Run, Tom, run." I did. The 2 perps were close behind me. I sprinted to her backyard and leaped over a 6-foot fence, with the assailants almost catching me. I ran for 2 or 3 blocks and then circled around to meet up with Ronnie and his date. When I got back to Ronnie, there were 2 police cars and the officers interviewing him. The guys had accosted him and took turns holding that big blade to his throat, demanding to know who I was. They took turns puncturing all of his tires and smashing his windshield. Ronnie was thoroughly traumatized. He feared for his life. I learned from Gail's big brother that one of the assailants was hospitalized in the same institution as Gail. He'd formed some sort of imaginary relationship with psychopathic ideation. The 2 were subsequently arrested and sentenced to prison for the assault on Ronnie. There's no doubt in my mind that if they'd caught up with me, they would have killed me. Have you ever almost died? I'm pretty sure I had a near-death experience once. You know how hotels have doors that connect 2 rooms? Well, this hotel had sealed the door off with a concrete wall. We'd opened the door and it was literally just a concrete wall. I was with my girlfriend at the time and I joked around, "I'm gonna lock you in, pushing her jokingly into the space. She wouldn't let me close the door on her, so I went inside with her and I said, "I'm gonna lock us both in," and close the door. I'll never forget the sound of the airtight seal in pure blackness closing. My hand was still on the door handle and I thought, there's no way. Yes, it auto-locked. The door could only be opened from the outside. So this girl and I are stuck in a 6-inch door jamb. My feet are sideways. I can't even rotate my face from left to right without my nose squeezing against the door. She tells me I better not be fucking with her. I say, "Don't panic. We'll get out." Within 60 seconds, we could feel the condensation from our body heat already dripping off the door wall. We tried to force the door open. Nothing. We screamed. Nothing. The hotel was mostly empty. Phones. I didn't have mine and her SIM didn't work as we were in a foreign country. 30 minutes. Claustrophobic nightmare. She has a panic attack. I try to calm her down. I'm having an internal panic attack. Was there enough oxygen? Would any housekeeping staff come? Long story short, we didn't die. We got out. I had a credit card in my pocket. She had her phone. We found a shaky Wi-Fi connection, downloaded the Skype app, used the light on her phone to read the numbers on my credit card. We bought Skype credit, looked up the hotel and phoned them. No answer. Called the hotel next door. They answered. She cried, "Help us. We're stuck in the hotel next door." They said, "Okay, they'll come talk to our front desk." A few minutes later, we heard knocking on the outside of the room's door. We screamed for help. Finally, after over an hour, they opened the door and we collapsed, covered in sweat, the door dripping from the condensation of our breath and body heat. The entire housekeeping staff was there. Their response? They laughed. When we checked out the next day, every staff member couldn't help but sneak a sly smirk. If we died in that door jam, I'm pretty sure our corpses would still be there.